So I grew up in Kyiv, Ukraine, my whole life until 18, and then I came back to the U.S. So I ended up here in Santa Clarita. I went to the Master's University, finished my grad school. I already had a desire to help people. Once when the war happened, I was like, oh, I want to go there right now and help. My dad, he's a missionary. He has a church there, a seminary, and he wanted to stay with the people there and serve them in any way they can. So just hearing their desire in helping encouraged me to help and trying to think more how I can be more efficient. I asked my dad, how can I help from here? And he said, Ukraine needs a lot of medical support. So I was like, okay. So I'm leaving April 24th. I have hopefully a group of 3 other guys who are coming with me. And we're planning to take around 25 bags of medical supplies. And then we're going to take it to the border. And then I'm going to drive it into Ukraine and hand it over to my dad. And then he'll go ahead and disperse those items to necessary locations. Привет всем там в Украину. Надеюсь, что я помогаю вас и будем видеть вас. Апрель 24 я буду вылетать от Штатов. И я буду принести вам много медицины и потом еще еду вам. Что, надеюсь, это будет помог вам и я с вами. Going through the border and going into Ukraine, I wasn't necessarily scared. I just wanted to get in, get out, meaning that I wanted to be efficient and get the supplies in. I think we brought around 9 tons of food to Ukraine, and that consists of 3 different trips. So each trip consists around 3 tons of food. And then with my first trip, we brought over 1,000 pounds of medicine. And that medicine goes towards different pharmacies and 3 different hospitals, 2 or 3 different hospitals. In Ukraine, one of the guards actually remembered the bags that I sent before. And so he was like, oh, this is the good stuff. So he knew that what we're doing. I'm very thankful for the guys who came with me on the trip. There's 3 other guys, Charles Ye, Jake Dye, and James Lee. Very thankful for them because as a team, we worked very efficiently. Everybody knew their responsibilities and we had no issues. And I was just thankful for them that we were able to complete, our mission. This time, I wanted to go to Kyiv, see some of my friends, encourage them, just be alongside of them in what they do, and also still bring the supplies. And then from there, we drove to another city and handed supplies and food to civilians in the villages. And so that was the main focus of this trip, is to give the supplies, but also to see my friends and then my parents and some other people, and actually be physically helping also in that way. People are, obviously they're tired, psychologically, you're in a war, you're gonna get fatigued. So they do have this fatigue, but on the other side, they have this passion. They are very nationalistic. They want their freedom and they're gonna fight for it for whatever it takes for them to have that freedom. My dad and I were talking about, so what's going to happen in the winter? Winter comes up, it's very close already, 3 or 4 months. So that's when my dad is he's actually right now trying to plan for the winter, how he can supply those people in those regions or those circumstances some kind of warmth and shelter.
Hi, I'm Greg.
I'm Fushan.
And we're serving our Lord here in Kyiv, Ukraine. Just to give a quick update on the situation here. As you know, Russian troops are attacking the central or downtown part of Kyiv, trying to cross the bridges. There's a lot of intense fighting going on, but Ukrainian troops are holding their ground, and just would ask that you would pray for them as they defend their country. And it's going to be probably a pretty intense fighting time this evening, tonight, and as well as Sunday, all day Sunday.
Потому что в боях за эти города какие-то вещи происходили, которые мы можем объяснить только с позиции того, что Бог это все устроил. Минимальные потери, максимальный эффект. Спасибо вам.
So my previous trips, they were more providing. This trip is more of a hands-on. I'm able actually physically to help and help with different people and physical issues, I guess you can say, and also bring other medical professionals to help with medical issues. And so my mom contacted one of the commanders, and she said, "Hey, my son, he's a student physical therapist. No one's really in physical preparation for that." So a lot of them have a lot of musculoskeletal conditions, and so I was able to help them with that. And through the church, there are also some members who enlisted in the military, and they're medics. And so we're able to connect through the military and providing the medical supplies through those medics. And we know also a few doctors who are in the military. So when I was with the soldiers, they share some stories. And like this one guy who I saw, he could barely lift his arm up. And he said, yeah, the artillery started, the shelling started, and I had to jump into the trench. And unfortunately, he landed on his, shoulder, and he most likely fractured one of his bones in there. I'm not here for myself. I'm here to go and help these people. There's a goal. You need to pursue that. And so that was kind of like my mental state, and mostly everyone else's mental state is, we're here to help. I'm planning another trip, hopefully in April. I'll be going, and we're planning to run another mobile clinic, and I'm also going to help more soldiers there. And my dad, my mom, and myself, and some other people were discussing, hopefully opening a kind of a nonprofit organization, and that will function in helping a lot of soldiers with PTSD and a lot of soldiers with physical therapy. And so that's kind of like what we're focusing now is, okay, we've been helping them so far. What are the next steps we can do to help them even more? And so when we came and decided that, we're gonna donate $2,500, and we're setting up a GoFundMe, and we're planning to match, those donations up to $2,500. And so if anybody who's interested in helping supporting financially, you guys can donate through the GoFundMe, and those funds will go towards and predominantly helping the Ukrainian soldiers in getting those tourniquets, chest seals, or food supplies, and also to civilians if they need more food and just humanitarian aid supplies.